if your parents were those kind of parents that when you were growing up, like my parents, were living in a 3-bedroom flat when we were growing up, and my father had one room, my mom had one room, and then we the children had one room. That was how we grew up. But along the line, as we were growing up, my parents had to start staying together in the same room. Then the other room was given to cousins that came. Then we the children, our room was also given to relatives. You know, they will come for one thing or the other, then they will start staying in our house. So our house, we grew up with so many people. We the children will now bring our phone to the sitting room and we will stay there. That was how it was happening until my father made money, and then we moved like that. Why am I telling you this story? Do you know that some of those cousins that were in our house, that grew up in our house, that made it impossible for us sometimes to have food to eat enough, because by the time you cook one pot of rice, you're sharing it among so many people. Whatever you get, you take. That was how we grew up. A lot of those people, those cousins, those relatives right now, some of them are made, but they will never assist you with anything. Sometimes if you call them, say they don't go answer you. If you call them, if you're stranded in a place and you go, they will not answer you. I don't know why that is. I used to be a Mother Christmas like my parents. I open my doors to everybody, but when they said showing me, it was as if there was a problem. It was a bloodline showing. I just had to borrow myself sense. Do you know that at a time, my house was like a mecca of sorts. I remember housing so many people in my house, you know, because I started working quite early and I was managing myself, you understand? Any friend where I get, where no gets where to stay, will come and stay in my house, as God is my witness. I remember 2 incidents very, very well. I had this friend, you know, that had an issue in Port Harcourt, so she came to stay in my house. This girl, when I go to work, she didn't have a job. I think she lost her job then. I was working, so I told her to move in. This girl moved into my house. You know, when I cook, this girl will chop all my food finish. She doesn't even care that this food was cooked by somebody who is working. If meat remain too, she go chop the whole two. She no go send whether you to her. You can always buy since you're working. The day I tried to complain that this thing you're doing to me is not good, there was nothing this girl didn't say. She started crying. I said because she doesn't have a, oh God, why is life doing? I now became like the worst person on earth just because I complained that, oh girl, you dey finish the food where 2 people supposed to chop. Sometimes when I leave, her boyfriends will come to the house, they will eat the food I cooked. They won't even remain for me. Sometimes pots, they go down. When you know when you have hope that you have food in your freezer, and then you open the freezer and then it's empty and nobody told you, the person won't even say, okay babe, how we go do? Nothing. The day she moved out of my house, she never told me, up until I was bitter, I was angry, I was pained. I was pained though. I was so pained. But as time went on, I just fashed it. Some years ago, she had an issue in Lagos. She called me to come and stay in my house. I told her, even if you're using juju to talk to me, it won't work with me this time around. Fuck off. You know, and I was expecting her to throw her jabs at me, which she didn't fail me. She went to Facebook and started throwing jabs. I shared her post and I wrote down her story. She said she only had a craze. People started saying that people that she had encounter with, that she did the same thing to start coming out. Another one, still in the same Port Harcourt. I lost my job. I didn't have food to eat in my house. I didn't want to start stressing my parents as at that time. You know? So a friend of mine that used to stay in my house came to my house. I begged her. I said, please give me money to cook okra. You know, okra, they last well for house, you know, because if you take small, you go do you. I said, let me, all I was eating there was okra and stew, so that at least it go last for me. This witch came to my house. This was somebody that used to come to my house, eat, drink, when I had a job. When I had a job, I remember one time she had rent issues when I was working in UBA. I helped this girl pay her rent. Me can't lose job. I can't call her, say I beg. Come give me some money, make I take cook soup and stew. I don't get money, and I didn't have a job. I didn't want to start asking anybody for money. I felt my friends were the best people to ask. This girl came to my house. I was happy that she was going to give me money, true, because that was what I needed. Food. I needed food. This girl just came to my house. Do you know how much she dropped for me? Then she was working in a place that they were paying her. Guess how much she dropped for me? 500 naira. It's not big money. That time, it's not big money now. 500 naira. Somebody I paid, I think I gave her 15,000 naira when she was looking for money to pay her. I think her rent that time was like 80k. I gave her 15k. This girl gave me 500 naira. I just looked at the money. You know what I did? I went and bought Coke, bought meat pie, all those things, ate it at least. So don't be too nice to people. Sometimes it doesn't pay. It may be my own luck. Maybe you may be encountering nice people, but I think I'm jinxed. I think I'm jinxed. That's why today I only have one best friend that in fact, she looks at my face and knows what I need. Don't be too nice. You know, they too favor. They will ask you whether they put a gun to your head when you were helping them out. Don't be too nice. Let me tell you, don't be too nice. It doesn't favor anybody. It does not favor anybody. I'll give you a part 2 of this video much later, because never I don't take like hit goes to start to worry me.